All right, hello Math 2 7th graders. So this will be the last video for this week. It's on volume. And volume is three-dimensional, so your units will always be cubed. So let's start off with a cube. A cube is a three-dimensional figure where all the sides are the same. Like this is 5 inches by 5 inches by 5 inches. And so here's the correct formula to use is side cubed. You could just use length times width times height, which is going to be just 5 times 5 times 5, which is what 5 cubed is. And so 25 times 5 quarters is 125 inches cubed. All right. Now, here's the other formula. This is the area of the base times height. This capital B stands for area of base, and then the H stands for height, right? And so here, if I just find the area of the base, which is, if I draw my picture, this is the base, and it's just a square, which is side squared, which is going to be 5 squared, which is 25. There's the area of the base. And so if I plug that in, here's the area of the base, and times the height is 5, you get 125 inches cubed. So that's another way to do it, especially when they get to be weird shaped figures, you find the area of the base, and you just multiply by the height. So anyways, I'm going to show you both ways here, okay? So this is your box. Oh, so this was a cube. And again, you can just do length times width times height, but the correct technical formula would be volume is s squared, which would be, or s cubed, which would be 5 cubed. Now for here, this is a box, length times width times height. So the length is 10, the width is 3, and the height is 4. And you can multiply in any order. You can go 30 times 4 or 10 times 12, but you get 120 meters cubed. Now, what if I found the base? Here, I'll come down here. The base. Well, the base, right here. Here's the base. The base is a rectangle. And the base is length times width. That's going to be 10 times 3. The area of the base is 30, right? So you could just say, this is 30 times my height is 4. And you get 120 meters cubed. So you can find the area of the base and then use this formula, or you can just go length times width times height. This is definitely the way you probably do it. But when they get weirder, you're going to want to do it this way, like here. These next ones are different. So you're going to have to do it this way. Use the area of the base times height. So here's my base. And the base doesn't have to be at the bottom. The base is parallel to the other base. They're identical and parallel. Those are your bases, those two triangles. So here, the base is a triangle. So area is base times height divided by 2. And so 6 times 8 divided by 2. I'll cross that out. And so the area of the base is 24 feet squared. There's the area of the base. Now, when I use this formula, area of the base times height, well, the area of the base is 24. Now the height isn't 6, the height is the distance between the bases. So it's like if I stood this on end, then the height would be the height, right? But I'm laying it on its side, but the height is always the distance between the two bases, all right? So it's 10. So this is friendly, that's 240 feet cubed. And volume, it's always cubed. So area of the base times height. Height is the distance between your two parallel and congruent figures, all right? Like here, the bottom is the same as the top, the bottom is the same as the top. You could have said this was your base, the 12, It'd been 12 times 10, and it'd still work out. Okay, now here's a weirdo. So this is like your house shape thing. We're going to call this the base, the front, because the front is exactly the same as the back, right? So that's going to be your base. It's not going to be the bottom, because the top isn't the same as the bottom. So actually the front is the base. Now the front is made up of a triangle and a rectangle. The triangle is 4 by 10. So area is base times height divided by 2. So it's 10 times 4 divided by, actually I'll put the base first. And you know, you get an area of 20. There's the area of the triangle part. Now the rectangle part is length times width. And that's going to be 10 times 8. So the area of the rectangle is 80. So the area of the whole thing, of the front, is going to be the area of the base. Here, I'll write area of base. That's going to be 100 inches squared. So volume is area of the base times height. So if the area of the base is 100, and the height is always the distance between the two bases, which is 15. And that's just going to be 1,500 inches cubed. So that's how you find volume when the top is exactly the same as the bottom, area of the base times height. And that's all we're going to deal with in 7th grade. In 8th grade, you'll learn how to do pyramids and cones. But we're not going to worry about that in 7th grade, all right? So, here, I'll just say it here. When it comes to a point, like in a pyramid or cone, it's just area of the base times height divided by 3, or 1/3 area of the base times height. When it comes to a point, you just divide it by 3 for a pyramid or a cone. It's just, you can say 1/3 area of the base times height, or just base times height divided by 3. Anyways, hopefully that was helpful.